Welcome to episode number 10 of Making Them Brands, brought to you by Bullseye Merch. We're back at it.
Yes, sir. What's up, Benny?
It's here, man. Following up on the topic from last week, which there's a lot of things that we can cover.
Yeah.
Regarding why an artist or a band should have a company that specializes in merchandise, especially touring merchandise and online as well.
Yeah. All right.
We're gonna keep going with that. There's a lot of a lot of details, a lot of that we could get deep into.
So before that, how was your weekend, man?
It was really good. Well, today's the what?
Bro.
Today's the what? What's the date today?
Tuesday.
All right,
Tuesday.
No, it's good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get too much into
You don't gotta give
details.
you don't gotta give details as to who it is, but we're on. We have a goal to get a couple of new artists, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're always open to work with the top artists.
Yeah.
I think that's our target market. That's who we could service better as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
you had a little trip this weekend,
yeah,
right?
I had a little trip. A one nighter. Those are always great, and a short flight and all that.
You got to speak to the representatives for the artists that we want to possibly gonna be able to work with.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Got it.
We see a lot of potential in those type of artists, but we'll cover more of that in upcoming episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to bring it up because we get to when we do get them, we can refer to this episode and be like,
absolutely.
Okay, that one weekend that
go to episode number 10.
Go to episode number 10. The artist that we were referring to was this, and now we're doing this with them.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. So the topic for today is why an artist should have a company that specializes in merchandise.
Exactly.
See? Órale pues. Well, there are several benefits for having a company that specializes in merchandise. And we'll go down and break down different pluses that you'll get from having a company. But I'm gonna start off by using examples and references.
Okay.
So, like I said, when we go to the shows, we're always talking to the venues, management, and we've been able to establish relationships with a lot of these people that run these venues, just because we work with them so many times. And we got to a point where hey man, some of them they're friends. There's certain people at certain venues
for sure.
that we sometimes even call each other just to say what's up, just to talk, just to chat, and it's cool. It's cool. And these are big venues. Yeah. These are big venues. Yeah. I'm talking about some of the biggest known venues in the
country.
In the country, yeah.
For sure.
And like I say, we'll talk, but I recall, like I said, I'll reference these because these are the numbers that I am aware of pre-pandemic.
Okay. So,
I believe in 2018, Kanye West had a tour that was going on, and I would talk to these venues and they were telling me they had every artist perform throughout the year, but for some reason a lot of them kept telling me dude, Kanye is fucking killing it this year. He's
number one.
Yeah, he's number one in merch, and they would tell me the numbers, and I was like, fuck, how the fuck is that possible?
How can we get a fraction of that?
Yeah, because like I said, we're in a completely different genre.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like we mentioned in the past, it's the genre that we're in. It's in its infant stages.
Right.
Even though we've been doing it for years, it's still in its infant
there's a lot of room for growth.
Yeah, a lot of room for growth. So when I hear these numbers from these artists, I'm like, how the fuck is that possible? Right. And they just tell me it's a whole nother monster. Bro. Yeah, it's a whole nother monster. It's like the type of sales that they do would I think it would impress any artist. You're like, oh shit, it's that. They're like, damn, now I can see why or whatever.
Why it's important. Major leagues right there.
Why it's important to have. And then so the next one I'll mention is in 2019, the artist that I was getting a lot of information was Travis Scott. and these are Kanye. For those that don't know, Kanye and Travis Scott, they're hip hop artists.
Yeah.
They're hip hop artists that very well known, biggest and
Top of the
biggest,
charts,
top of the charts or whatever. So in 2019, they were telling me different venues across the nation. I'm like, hey, because I always ask, hey, who's number one right now? Who's number one? Like, hey, you know what? Travis Scott right now is doing these numbers. You know? And I'm like, fuck, like that's crazy. That's crazy. The type of numbers that they're doing, selling this merch. And then I was like, all right. So like I said, it's always a curiosity that I have. And then I go back and I know the companies that do their merch. Like I don't know them personally, but I'm aware of who does it, or whatever. And it's funny because, like I said, we now go to our genre. We go to our genre and you know, and we talk to these artists, and they're like we have to explain to them, like, you know, how the merch works or whatever. And it's like I said, our culture is we sometimes feel like we can do it all ourselves.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like, you know what? Like, man, I got like
someone on my team, or like someone in the family can do it, right? Just print some stuff and sell it, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
Yeah, and like I said, we mentioned in the other episodes. That's why it's been challenging to get the awareness and the credibility that this business needs because of previous scenarios that happen like that, where sabes que lo va a vender mi tía o mi tío o mi primo, and these are big acts.
Right.
These are big acts, but for some reason, it just hasn't. The connection hasn't been established. Where this is kind of like
it's a big business.
It's a big business, and it needs to be treated as a big business, not just like as a, hey, let me just.
Ahí se va. Se va a vender. Yeah.
Píntame unas camisas y ponlas ahí en la mesa, and there it's gonna sell. And you know, the results show that it hasn't been successful for a lot of artists because of that approach.
Yeah.
And that was where we came in. We have been solving that solution to that problem since we started, because it was a problem and it needed a solution. Right. And we realized that, you know what, if we figure this out, we can solve that issue.
Right.
And you know, so many years later, we've grown our roster, and you know, some artists come, go, but you know, it's we still stick to our objective, right? Which is growing the artist, I guess, like his brand awareness, and making sure it's done at a professional level, with a quality product. So there's different variables involved, and so going back to the reason that I brought up Kanye and Travis Scott. First, because they were the biggest ones during the 18-19 years. And so I like to think about it like this: like, if an artist like themselves, which are the biggest, the top of the charts or whatever, they have endless financial resources, where money is not an issue. Right. Money is not an issue. Yet they have and they have the personnel. They have everything for them to say, like, hey, why would I give a percentage of my sales or my product or my merchandise to a company, while if I can just do it myself? Right. Yet they understand. They're like, you know what? I could do it myself, and I could have somebody do it myself, but that's not what we specialize in. Right. My specialty is making music, and my team is making sure that I make that music. So I think I know that they see the benefit when saying, hey, you know what? A company will come up to them and be like, hey, listen, we're going to develop a merch brand for your tours, for your online, for yourself. We're going to develop it from A to Z. Where yes, you can be involved in the approvals, but we'll pretty much do all the work, all the setup, all the arrangements, all the contracts, everything that has to do with having it at the venues, online distribution, fulfillment, and with your approval, we'll make sure everything gets handled. And like I said, these people have endless resources, yet they choose to do it.
Right.
And I feel that they choose to do it because they want to maximize their profits.
Mm-hmm.
And why wouldn't you get a professional to make sure they do their job at the maximum level,
right,
to maximize
yeah,
those
because
profits?
if Kanye wanted to, he could, buy a bunch of shirts and get them printed and just sell them, right?
Yes.
But he understands what a professional company brings to the table.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And that's the point. That's the point behind this. The importance of having a company that is going to have the artist's best interest in mind.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, you could get a couple of your friends or a couple of family members or whatever, and I'm sure it will do well. I'm sure it will do well because it's an artist like Kanye or Travis Scott. It will do well.
Yeah.
But it won't get the maximum amount of exposure, sales, professionalism that it can get versus having a company that dedicates themselves to just doing that.
Right.
To just doing that. So same thing with Travis Scott. Like I said, he's on top of the charts. And we're talking about 2019, pre-pandemic, and he can easily do it himself. Mm-hmm. But they hire a company that's the best at what they do to offer the best product and the best sales possible.
Yeah.
So that coming now to us, that's what we are offering our clients. Mm-hmm. And like I said, ours is tricky because of the culture.
Right.
Of the culture. I mean,
totally different.
I mean,
different market,
Mexicano,
different, yeah.
So tú eres Mexicano way, and we, like I said, we can be stubborn in certain things, right. And egos can get in the way sometimes.
It's my way or the highway.
Yeah, and it's like that's why it's like it's good to give examples so people can understand what our objective is. And our objective is to maximize
profits.
Maximize profits. And guess what? Like I said, just because, like I said, and this is where I say, like, sometimes artists think just because, like, hey man, well, I'm selling this and I'm selling that. I'm like, yeah, but you've never done this before.
Right, exactly.
You've never done, you never actually offered merch. And if you did, I mean, it's sad to say, but it wasn't going well for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is not pointing anybody out in particular. It's just what it is, because like we mentioned in the past, it's the culture of the genre that we're in.
Yeah.
It was lack of awareness. It was not being done to a professional level.
Yeah.
And like I said, with time, I'm confident that we're going to continue to establish that we are the company that you want to be with. If you want to maximize your exposure, your sell, your professionalism, and the quality of your product, you want to make sure you do have a company that's going to represent you like that, that's going to back you up like that, that's going to make sure that your product is being exposed as much as possible, man.
Yeah, and top artists, they do understand the power of having the right team.
Yes.
I mean, they have, their public relations team, they have their marketing team, they have their management team, they have like social media nowadays, you know, they have all that.
Right.
And I think at least in these genre, what's missing is that team for merchandise.
Yes.
To maximize the potential that at least the top artists have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's what's missing.
It is missing, and that's like I said, that we're solving that.
I mean, it's a good problem for us because we're bringing that solution. But
and it's and we do want to solve that solution because, like I told you in the last episode, we work this genre because we are this genre. So I want to make sure that our genre is being represented at a professional level as well.
And also. I emphasize this: earning the respect, because like you said, we talk a lot of venues, and even though they're like, oh yeah, this, we're not gonna say names or anything like that, like or point anybody out, like you said, but there are some bands in our industry that sell out, but they don't translate those to merch sales.
Yeah.
and they think like when we go to a venue, they think that we're gonna have like the same type of numbers, but when they actually do work with us, it's like they see that the results are different.
Yeah. And like I said, and I've I want to say confidently that every artist that we've worked with, we have improved ourselves
Absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah,
significantly
from the first show.
From the first show. Yeah, it's proven time and time again because, like I said, building those relationships with all these venues.
Yeah.
I do ask, hey man, how did they do before the show before us? And I compare
the tour,
numbers.
the prior tour, the prior time that we're here.
We were involved.
Right.
Yeah, before we were involved. And it is a big difference.
Absolutely.
Like I told you, it's not that it's like, we're not telling you that it's like, oh my God, it's so fucking, there's so much profits involved. It's not there yet. It's not there. It's little. But what I tell you is that there is a difference. There's a major difference from the past.
A big percentage.
Yeah, a big percentage. And it's like I said, that's why I keep referring to that. It's in the infant stages because there's just so much room to grow.
Right.
If we continue in the correct path. Yeah. The correct path is somebody specializing in this, making sure it's getting done correctly.
Professionally.
Yes, correctly. And it's like sometimes like it's a challenge because artists they might not fully understand this business. So we have to kind of like explain to them. And it's unfortunate sometimes because sometimes they're like, they could be selling right now. Let's say like they're not with a company or whatever, and they're just selling it on their own. And they're selling.
Yeah.
The thing is that they probably are not aware that they could be selling a lot more,
right?
They could be selling a lot more.
They don't know the potential that they have.
They don't know the potential. So they're just seeing sales and like, se está vendiendo, there's coming in.
Right.
And but there's just so much more that can be done. Right. So much more that can be done.
I think it's also the lack of information. I mean, we work with different artists. Like we're at different venues, so we have that different perspective. Yeah. Like no, this artist could be doing a lot more.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And also the fact that they probably been doing their approach for some time.
Yeah.
Some time. So they probably don't know any better. They're like, hey, ¿sabes qué? Shit. This is what we do. We sell. We don't know if it's a lot or a little. We just know that there's sales coming, and whatever. Then we come on board, and then we're like, hey, look, we got to change the whole strategy because there's got to be a strategy in play.
Absolutely.
That's got to be catered to that specific artist.
Yeah.
So when we do come on board, and then they no longer have to worry about any of that. They just see results, and we communicate with them.
Reports,
so they're like, hey, well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I like that. Like, I mean, they don't have to be, figuring out like, hey, where's this stuff at, or is it did it get to the venue, or what are we short on, or who's designing it? There's a new tour coming up, and so those are the benefits of having a company that's gonna specialize. And at a professional level to make sure that the artist is being represented accordingly.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we fight to make sure that they are being represented with the venues, like and in a good way. Like we tell the art, like, hey, we're gonna offer you guys one booth. Like, nah. We want two booths. We want two booths. We're talking about a sold out show here.
Exactly.
We're talking about a back-to-back sold out show. How are you going to honor? Well, it's because, they haven't sold in the past. Well, I mean, that was the past. That's the past.
Things are different now.
That's the past. And, I guarantee you that we're going to do a lot better than the past.
Right.
So, I said, we want to continue to educate the fans, educate even though venues know all the stuff, but they need to know our genre. Right. Our genre is different from I want to say any other genre, man. Our stuff is, like I said, our culture is different. Everything's different with us, and we need to bring that awareness. Like, hey, things were done that before, but we're different. And like I said, throughout the years, venues know us now, and they know what we expect, what we want, and what we bring to the table, and they know that it's done at a professional level. It's a system. It's a system that we each follow, and at the end, we're like, okay, cool. hey, this is a lot better than before. This is so
Yeah,
forth, you know?
absolutely. And then like going back to the sales part, like when the artists or the team think that they're doing okay,
Yeah.
but they don't know any better because they don't have anything to compare it with.
That's the
Other
thing.
than the last tour or the previous show or however they track their sales.
Yes.
But then we compare artist to artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the same genre. We're like, no, this one could be doing a lot better. You know,
Yes.
and then like you said, we cater to that one specific artist in in
Yeah.
a very different way.
And it's happened multiple times. I mean, we have examples where we have 20x, even 30x sales from previous tours. You know,
At the same venue, same location,
same venue with less people even.
right?
Because I found out like, hey, you know, like this venue last time had 6,000 people. Oh, well, this time it only has 5,000, and we've completely restructured everything, and now there's different results.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes the team the team on the artist side, the artist, they just don't know what to, like you said, they don't know what to compare it to, so they don't know whether it's good or bad or low or high. They just like, hey, well, we sold some, and that's what it is. So when a company like ourselves come on and say, hey, listen, we can do all this for you. Some artists are like, wait a minute, I'm gonna have to give you a percentage of this. And it's like, okay, well, we're like, look, let me explain exactly how it works. And we have this conversations a lot, like, wait, so we have to give them, like, yeah, but some of the things we do, I guarantee you, we're gonna sell a lot more than what you've done in the past, and you're gonna make more with us, even after your percentage.
Yeah, absolutely.
After your percentage. And another benefit that I give what we do is like, this is another thing that a conversation that we have with management a lot and different artists. It's like this, like, let's say in the past you're happy because you've been selling a couple of things here or there or whatever, and sales are low. I know that they're low because we know everybody's numbers.
Exactly.
We know everybody's numbers. We know everybody's
we have
numbers.
all the reports.
They try to, there's been certain times like, oh, well, I sold this. I'm like, look, I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but
Right.
Like I said, because of our relationships, we know their numbers. We know the numbers or whatever.
And we know the potential they have where they can be.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad thing or whatever. No. It's to be like, hey, let's compare apples to apples.
Right.
Let's be straight up. Hey, look, this is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get here.
This is where we want you to be. Or where
and then we're gonna get here, and so forth and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's the objective. Like I said, it's a win-win situation. Mm-hmm. It's a win-win situation. But I don't know where I was going with this. What was I saying that the artist? Oh yeah, the percentage. Like, man, I gotta give you a percentage and stuff. And I'm like, well, like I said, first of all, we another benefit, we finance the project. We develop the project.
Right.
We pretty much handle all the expenses that has to do with from A to Z, from A to C. So that's one thing they don't have to be concerned about. They don't have to worry about. They don't have to worry about designing. They don't have to worry about production. They don't have to worry about all that stuff. So there's multiple benefits. There's multiple benefits of it that's coming. And like I said, this is a conversation that we've had several times. Like, oh man, well, I mean, I didn't, like, man, I've never given up a percentage of this. It's like, it's not that you're not giving up anything. You're gaining something. You're gaining a company, and that's what we want to emphasize on. You're not giving up anything. First of all, you're not giving anything because you're not paying for anything.
Right.
We're financing the project. Look at it like you're gaining something. Oh, I got my train of thought back. This is what I was gonna say. So aside from your sales increasing, this is another big plus that I've always saw as something that this is something the artist should definitely want. So let's say in the previous tour before us, they were selling a couple shirts here or there, or some merch here or there or whatever. Now you come with us and they're selling a lot more merch per show, per tour.
Yeah.
And it's just the numbers are significantly different. So it's like, man, if it's an artist, I would want to have my merch spread out
Yeah.
in a lot larger numbers across the nation versus just a couple here or there.
Right.
That's a plus in itself because you know what a shirt with an artist is. That's marketing. That's free
promotion.
That's free promotion.
Yeah, marketing. Yeah,
that's free promotion.
Yeah.
And if the product is good, the fan is gonna willingly want to wear it more often.
Exactly.
And expose the artist even more. So that's another major plus that I feel that people need to understand. Like, hey, listen. Yeah, like you could sell a couple here and there, but just imagine selling thousands of shirts throughout the tours.
Yeah.
And look how much more people are going to be exposing your brand.
Exactly. They're going to be walking down the street on the store wearing the stuff, you know.
That right there is a value that I don't think is being considered. Because that to me is a major value. You know, you have all these fans walking around with your product.
Yep.
Man, that's exposure all over the nation. So that's another plus. Like I said, hey, you know, like your product is gonna get out there a lot more.
Yeah.
Your product is gonna get out there a lot more. So I guess what we're trying to say is never look at it as what you're giving up. Look at it as what you're gaining. And what you're gaining is gonna be a lot better than you trying to do it on your own.
Right.
You know, and like I said, sometimes we you know, we're in the habit of doing things on our own, you know, but having a team is going to make you a lot stronger.
Right.
Having a dedicated team that dedicates just to this field is going to bring your product and your sales to another level.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to offer.
Yeah, and the brand awareness, you know, we making the brand, so we make the brand, you know.
Yes.
It's not just the name of the artist, but it's also, you know, branding it, you know, having like you said, and multiple, you know, hundreds of or thousands of people wearing the merch and like wanting to wear it just to wear it, you know, not necessarily just at the concert, but also like doing day-to-day things, you know.
Yes, and like I said, that's great exposure. That's great exposure, free exposure at that point.
At that point,
the product has been paid for, but yet they keep keep promoting and marketing it across the nation. So, that's the problem that we're here to solve. That our genre, aside from us, I mean, maybe there is other companies that focus on this, but I have not seen somebody at this level that has the dedication and the passion to bring this genre to a top level. I have not seen that yet, and I'm open to hearing somebody else that's doing that.
We're open to talk.
To see, because you know what, I would be like, hey, that's cool, man.
Yeah, like, how are you doing it?
If they're bringing our culture, our genre to a higher level, then I'm like, I'm with that.
I'm all for it.
I'm for that, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's cool, man. Let's work to get it to that level, like these American artists. They do these type of numbers. Let's work. Let's work. Exactly. Let's continue.
Because imagine if we do once we get to that level, we'll get all the artists on that level. Yeah. We're gonna have the same representation. We're gonna have the same respect in every venue. They're like, oh yeah, you know.
We'll give you 20 bucks.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That's totally different than just having like, oh no, maybe we'll get you a couple of sellers, you know, and that's it.
And like I said, I mean, we're like I said, it's been years, and you know, from when we, you know, it's been even from when we started, it's been so different. You know, I remember in the beginning there was even certain venues where we would have to send like our team.
Right.
We would have to send our team fly out, and you know, there's different. You know, it was wild.
Right.
It was wild to make things work. You know, and now we're like, you know what, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. And and like I said, even up to date, we're still figuring things out. We're still figuring things out, how to improve things, how to make things more efficient. And it's only going to continue to go through in that path. Right. It's only going to continue the path. So if you are an artist that can benefit from our services, and, you know, obviously there's got to be potential. We want to work with the best. We want to work with the best, and we've been fortunate to be working with the best. Yeah. And, you know, I'm sure we're gonna come into contact one way or another.
Absolutely.
Either we're gonna approach you or you're gonna
Yeah,
know
or they're
about
gonna
us.
come, yeah.
But we're gonna look for ways
Right.
to work together. And if we
Right.
do, I'm confident that it will be a win-win situation as long as you understand the objective.
Right.
As long as you understand the objective and you understand where we're at and where we want to go, then the results should be positive. If you're expecting to be up here from the get-go, when you're still here and you think just it's not gonna be something that's realistic.
Right.
But if we come up with a game plan and we're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna grow this at this level, and that we can guarantee that your sales are gonna increase
Right.
as time goes on, then we are a good fit for you to want to work with, and you're a good fit for us to want to work with. Because that's what we want. We want you guys to understand that it's gonna have to be a win-win.
Exactly.
We're on that table, then we're gonna do good together.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, you know what? That's a great way to end it. I think to extend
That's
that
it.
invitation to
Definitely.
the top artists. So.
Definitely. Okay, cool, man. So that's good. That's why an artist should hire a company that dedicates to merchandise to get to the best results possible.
Exactly.
Sounds good. All right, cool, man.
All right,
So I
so
guess that's
yeah.
it. Oh, wait.
We're gonna
Ah,
announce a
ya
winner.
ves,
We're gonna announce a winner.
Ya se te iba a olvidar, güey.
No, para nada. I have my notes right here. So we're gonna announce a winner of the shirt of the Banda MS Raglan.
That was
The one we
from what
printed.
episode? Do you recall?
I think 7
Okay, so
or something like that. But
Banda MS. I'm sorry. Episode 7, is that the one where we were talking about somebody was going to win the Banda MS shirt?
yes, that
Okay.
was where we printed it.
Okay, cool.
So the
Just
name
to
of
be
the
clear.
winner would be Maria Velez Garzon. So Maria Velez Garzon, contact our team here. Send us a DM, or we'll try to reach out to you as well.
Leave us a comment on this video if you want, and then we can.
Yep, we can
somebody
reach
will
out.
get- somebody will
So,
get it.
or you can also contact us on our Instagram at Bullseye Merch. If you're not following it yet, make sure to go over there, and you'll get a lot of cool information from your favorite artists, and when all the new merch comes out.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, Big Benny.
All right,
Then that's
so that's
it.
it for this one.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right.